remember, God led you here for a reason. The question is, what will you do with it? There's something strangely powerful about the idea of the what if. It's the quiet whisper that comes when we look back at our lives, tracing the paths we could have taken, the decisions that might have led us somewhere else. A story I've been reflecting on lately, The Midnight Library by Matt Haig, captures this feeling perfectly. In the book, the protagonist, Nora Seed, finds herself in a strange library between life and death. Each book in the library represents a different version of her life based on choices she could have made differently. Each possibility seems to shimmer with its own promise, yet none offer the perfect answer to the question that lingers. What could have been? But here's the thing, what could have been doesn't always hold the answers we think it will. As Nora moves through the library, exploring these alternate lives, she realizes that no matter how perfect they seem, each one has its own set of struggles, its own burdens. The idea that one choice would have made everything better falls apart as she discovers that every life comes with its own flaws, its own challenges. We're a lot like Nora. We stand at crossroads throughout our lives, looking back at the choices we've made and wondering if there's a better path we could have taken. Maybe it's a job we didn't pursue, a relationship we let slip away, or a decision that turned out to be more difficult than we expected. It's easy to fall into the trap of regret, wishing we could go back and change the past. But what if the life you're living right now, imperfect, messy, and full of surprises, is exactly where God wants you to be? In Romans 8:28, Paul reminds us that God is always at work in our lives, even in the most unexpected and difficult moments. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose. Even when we don't see it, God is orchestrating something beautiful in our lives, shaping us into who we're meant to become. It's easy to get caught up in wondering about the lives we didn't live. But the truth is, the life you have is full of purpose. You're exactly where you need to be, and the choices you've made, even the ones that seemed wrong at the time, have shaped you into the person you are today. In the end, God's love and grace are bigger than any path we could have chosen. Sometimes we get so wrapped up in the what-ifs that we forget to live in the present moment. We miss out on the beauty of today, the opportunities right in front of us, because we're too busy longing for a past that's already gone. As Matt Haig writes in The Midnight Library, the only way to learn is to live. And sometimes the best way to live is to forgive yourself for the life you didn't live. But living in the present, trusting God with each new decision, and finding peace in the path we're on, that's where true growth happens. It's not about having the perfect life. It's about trusting that God is working through the imperfect one you've got. Let me share something personal with you. This is actually the first time I've opened up about my life like this on the channel. And I have to admit, it's not easy. But sometimes the most powerful way to connect with others is by being real and vulnerable. I can't help but think about my own journey with my daughter, who's now 10 years old. Every day I'm reminded that life isn't always the perfect picture I imagine. As a single father, I often wonder about the paths I didn't take, how different things could be if my life had gone a different way. But then I look at her and see the beauty of what we have right now. There are days when she looks up at me with those big, curious eyes, asking questions about the world. And in those moments, I realize how deeply blessed I am to be her father. The life I'm living with her, full of ups and downs, challenges and joys, is exactly the life I need. We may not have everything figured out, but together we're walking this path, trusting that God is guiding us every step of the way, and I wouldn't trade it for anything else. I recently came across a thought-provoking quote from the Midnight Library by Matt Haig, and it really resonated with me. He writes, "You don't have to understand life. You just have to live it." It's such a simple yet profound truth. We often feel this pressure to figure everything out, to understand why things happen, to have all the answers. But the reality is, life doesn't always make sense, and we don't have to have it all figured out. What matters most is that we keep moving forward, trusting that God is guiding us through it all. Sometimes the path isn't clear and the answers aren't obvious, but in those moments, faith teaches us to keep living fully and faithfully without needing to control every detail. And that's the beauty of faith. It teaches us to embrace the uncertainty of life, to let go of our need for control, and to trust that God is weaving something beautiful even in our struggles. Whether we're at a crossroads or walking a path we didn't choose, we can rest in the knowledge that we are not alone. God is with us, and His plans for us are always good. So today, take a deep breath and let go of the what-ifs. Trust that God is working through your story, and even when things don't look the way you expected, He's leading you towards something greater. The life you're living is the one He's given you, and it's more than enough.